Today's unfortunate story is about a Rodney James Alcala. He was an American serial killer and sex offender who was sentenced to death in California for 5 murders committed between the years of 1977 and the year of 1979. Rodney Alcala was born in San Antonio, Texas, the third of 4 children born to a Mexican-American couple. Alcala's father moved the family to Mexico, then abandoned them 3 years later in the year of 1954, when Alcala was age 11. His mother moved him and his 2 sisters to a suburban area in Los Angeles. Alcala was an academically gifted student who was reasonably popular among his peers and was supported by his family. He attended various private schools during his youth before graduating from Montebello High School. He was on the yearbook's planning committee and on the track and cross-country team. In the year of 1961, at the age of 17, Alcala joined the United States Army to become a paratrooper and served as a clerk. During his service, he was notified by the commanding officer as being manipulative, vindictive, and insubordinate. Alcala was disciplined on several occasions for assaulting young women. In the year of 1964, after what was described as a nervous breakdown, during which he went AWOL and hitchhiked from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, to his mother's house in California, Alcala was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. In the year of 1968, a passing motorist named Donald Haynes called the police after witnessing Alcala lure Tali Shapiro, age 8, into his Hollywood apartment. Shapiro was residing at the Chateau Marmont with her family, was approached by Alcala on her way to school when he pulled up beside her in his car and asked her if she needed a ride. Shapiro initially refused, but when she heard him say that he knew her parents, she got into his car. Alcala then took her to his apartment where he told Shapiro he wanted to show her a picture. When the police arrived, Shapiro was found alive, having been raped and beaten with a steel bar. Alcala had fled. Shapiro was in a coma for 30 days and spent months in recovery. Cornelia Creeley, a 23-year-old Trans World Airlines flight attendant, was found raped and murdered in her Manhattan apartment in June 12, 1971. Alcala had strangled her with his own nylon stockings, leaving her dead in her apartment at 427 East 83rd Street. It's believed that Creeley met Alcala as she moved into her new apartment and that she might have accepted his help in moving some furniture. Her murder remained unsolved until the year of 2011. The FBI added Alcala to its list of 10 most wanted fugitives in the year of 1971. A few months later, 2 children attending an arts camp noticed his photo on the FBI poster at the post office. Alcala was arrested and extradited to California. By then, Shapiro's parents had relocated their entire family to Mexico and refused to allow her to testify at a trial. Since the authorities were unwilling to charge him with rape and attempted murder without their primary witnesses, Alcala was convicted of child molestation and sentenced to 3 years. Alcala paroled in the year of 1974 after 17 months. Less than 2 months after his release, he was rearrested for assaulting a 13-year-old girl identified in court records as Julie J., who had accepted that she thought would be a ride to school. Alcala was again paroled in the year of 1976, just after serving 2 years. In the year of 1978, Alcala was a contestant on the popular game show The Dating Game. Jim Lange, the host, introduced him as a successful photographer. Between takes, you might find him skydiving or motorcycling. A fellow Bachelor contestant later described Alcala as a very strange guy with bizarre opinions. Alcala won the competition and a date with the episode's Bachelorette. Cheryl Bradshaw, who subsequently refused to go out with him because she found him creepy. Noting that Alcala killed at least 3 women from the dating game appearance, speculated that this rejection might have been an exacerbating factor. One wonders what he had did in his mind, Brown said. This is something he would not tell too well, or even take too well. Don't understand the rejection he cannot fathom. They think that something is wrong with him, with that girl. She played me. She played hard to get. She wanted to live. Alcala continued his crime spree. He had a murder on November 9th, 1977. Another one on December 16th, 1977. Another one on June 24th, 1978. Another one on February 14th, 1979. Another one on June 13th, 1979. Robbing Christine Samso, a 12-year-old girl from Huntington Beach, disappeared as she rode as a borrowed bicycle from the Huntington Beach home to her ballet class on June 20th, year of 1979. Her decomposing body was found 12 days later in the Los Angeles foothills, dumped off Santa Anita Canyon Road. She had been beaten, raped, and stabbed with a knife. Samso's friends told police that a stranger had approached them on the beach, asked to take their pictures. Detectives circulated a sketch of the photographer, and Alcala's parole officer recognized him. During a search of Alcala's mother's house in Monterey Park, police found a rental receipt from a storage locker in Seattle. In the locker, they found Samson's earrings. Alcala was arrested in July, year of 1979, and held without bail. He went on trial for Samso's murder, was found guilty in May of year of 1980, and sentenced to death in June. However, the verdict was overturned by the California Supreme Court in the year of 1984 because jurors had been improperly informed of his prior sex crimes. In May of 1986, after a second trial virtually identical into his first except for omission of prior criminal record testimony, he was again convicted, then sentenced to death in August. While preparing for their third prosecution in the year of 2003, Orange County investigators learned that Alcala's DNA sampled under a new state law over his objections matched semen left at the rape murder scenes of 2 women in Los Angeles. Additional evidence, including another cold case DNA match in the year of 2004, led to Alcala's indictment for the murders of 4 additional women. Jill Barcombe, age 18, a New York runaway, found rolled up like a ball in the Los Angeles ravine in the year of 1977, and originally thought to have been a victim of the Hillside Strangler. Georgia Wickett, age 27, bludgeoned in her Malibu apartment in the year of 1977. Charlotte Lamb, age 31, raped, strangled, and left in the laundry room of an El Segundo apartment complex in the year of 1978. And Jill Parento, age 21, killed in her Burbank apartment in the year of 1979. All the bodies were found posed in carefully chosen positions. Another pair of earrings found in Alcala's Seattle storage locker had residue that matched Lamb's DNA. During his incarceration between the second and third trials, Alcala wrote and self-published a book, You the Jury, in which he claimed innocence in his Samso case and suggested a different suspect. He also filed 2 lawsuits against the California penal system for a slip and fall incident and for refusing to provide him a low-fat diet. After the trial, more additional victims were appearing and coming up with DNA evidence against him. In the year 2010, Seattle police named Alcala as a person of interest in several unsolved murders in Washington state. since Alcala rented a Seattle area storage locker in which investigators later found jewelry belonging to two of his California victims in the year of 1979. Other cold cases were reportedly targeted for in re-investigations in California, New York, New Hampshire, and Arizona. On February 17th, in the year of 1978, Joyce Francine Gaunt, age 17, was found at a picnic area at Seaward, Seattle. She was nude and lying on her face. Her skull had been crushed. The developmentally disabled teen also has been beaten, strangled, and sexually assaulted. She has been living in a group home on Capitol Hill when she was last seen leaving to meet with an unidentified man on February 16th. Upon further investigation of Rodney James Rod Alcala, he died July 24th, 2021 at the age of 77 in the Corcoran California State Correctional Facility. He was a serial killer, a torture slayer, aka known as the dating game killer. He died while awaiting execution in the California Correctional Corcoran State Prison. Alcala was born Rodrigo Jaquez Alcala Bucur.